Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for today's expert roundtable. Please mute your phones until we open up the call at the end for a Q&A. I'm joined with Nicolas Bour with Serenbe Hospitality. Thank you for joining us, Nick.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Lots of rain here.
Yep. A lot of rain over here as well. All right. So I am Alyn Weilacher. I am the host. I am a client success manager on the food service team. So Nick, could you please tell us a little bit about Serenbe Hospitality to start the call off?
Sure. Serenbe Hospitality, actually Serenbe itself is a community that's located about 30 minutes south of the Atlanta airport in the Chattahoochee Hill country. It's a community that we founded starting in about 2004. Since then we've built, we have about 1,200 residents there and 4 restaurants, a banquet facility, an inn, a 15-acre certified organic farm, a farmer's market, and some retail as well.
Very cool. Thank you. So I'd like to ask you some questions that will help the suppliers prepare for their meetings at the upcoming food service sessions. So the first question, how do you recommend suppliers prepare for their meeting and make the most of their time?
Well, obviously, I've been to, this will be, I think, my 7th ECRM. The ones that have been good for me have been ones that actually did some research about my property in advance. As much as I love to talk about what I do, it's crazy when you have to say it 40+ times in a 2-day period, or actually probably more than that. So every time I sit with somebody, I have to tell them my story, and it would be easier if somebody already knew my story, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We do allow the suppliers to review your profile before the program. So that's definitely some good advice there. Any other tips on that?
And then having, obviously, samples is very important. Samples actually at the meeting, not just follow up once. Because oftentimes, you know, I get back here and my place, and like I said, I have 4 restaurants plus a whole other chaos. To try to track down a ton of samples is really difficult, and you know, especially for if it's people I tasted the stuff and I loved it, I'll remember it. But sometimes the people don't bring that, and they just bring some kind of a collateral piece, like a flyer or something like that, and it's really hard to taste the piece of paper. I guess is what I'm saying. But having those little samples and stuff to try is really great, and it's really kind of what sets a lot of them apart. And quite frankly, a lot of them do it already. So,
awesome.
Or a demonstration of some type of how your thing works. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep, I got it. The next question I have for you, then, what are the priorities to cover in a 10 or 20-minute meeting? And is there anything vendors should avoid doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've found the vendors to be, you know, at least enthusiastic about what they're selling. A lot of them are actually the owners of the companies, which is really great. I'd say, honestly, the logistics of the purchasing aspect has been the hardest thing for me. Having a direct answer up front of how the purchasing can be done is important to me. Again, that kind of goes with the research that goes into this. I mean, you guys, they're paying a lot of money to be there. If they want to maximize that investment, knowing about the person you're meeting with is so important, including the logistics of where they are, how you're going to get the product to them, so on and so forth. Whether it be Cisco, UNFI, any of those companies, any vendors or direct purchasing, anything like that that's actually been the hardest part for me, is getting the product after the meetings.
Okay. I guess then the next question, how do you recommend suppliers go about following up after their meetings?
most important thing is a kind of a cooling off period after the meeting. I remember my first or my second ECRM, I got like at least 50 calls in the next day, the 2 days after I got back to home base here. And it's really inconvenient, first of all, and it's like so much information to process already being at those meetings that I think a 2-week waiting period is really, really smart on your side, and respectful on both sides. Because I'll take the call, but then I'll blow you off pretty much because I have to catch back up on my work. And like I said, process. I get a lot of information there, and I try to kind of sit down a week after and lay it out, prioritize it, be respectful of your investment, obviously.
Absolutely, and we do have our follow-up site that is very helpful with this follow-up as well. I know you can indicate the time frame in which you want the suppliers to follow up with you as well.
Right. I think I put that in my profile. But some of those guys are enthusiastic. I'm gonna just put it that way.
Yes, they do get excited. Any other tips you can offer there?
Yeah. Oh, as far as preparation.
Just for follow-up after the meetings, but preparation as well.
Following up is great. Sending cases of samples is not maybe for me. I mean, maybe some people like it. I'm not there shopping. I'm there to like actually buy stuff for my business. And then actually shipping and then sending the FedEx or confirmation number so I can track it down. That's really, really good too.
It's good to know.
Because I have, like I said, I have multiple businesses, and God knows where FedEx drops it. So when I have to call around and say, have you seen this box from so-and-so, some oil from Russia or something? But yeah, that's really good. As a tracking number is very helpful.
It's very good to know. Thank you. And next question, what is the biggest benefit of attending ECRM?
Well, ever since I started doing ECRM, I stopped going to regular food shows altogether because it's so not focused, and it's just a cattle call, basically a room full of people milling around to different tables. It doesn't accomplish anything for me. To be able to sit down and actually meet with the people who know, it's not just some girl standing at a table or some guy standing at a table that doesn't have any vested interest in the company that they're representing. It's somebody actually who may even own the company, or is at least somebody who's very knowledgeable of what the company represents. The privacy, I'm very ADD. I'm a chef, so having that room to yourself or that table to yourself with somebody is really, really good for me. And having, like I said, it's without distractions. It's really nice. And the sales process, I think, is much easier this way too, because people get really to have that one-on-one time to really kind of explain what they do and what they represent.
Absolutely. And that all goes back to really being prepared for your meetings and having a better understanding of the buyer and their company as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I do understand like you're meeting with so many people in one day, but understand we're also meeting with so many people in one day. So it's beneficial on both sides. And I do a little bit, if something really piques my interest, I'm definitely down for researching it before I get there. Like I've already done that. I'm really looking forward to a couple of my meetings more than in the past, because you guys have such great variety this time. So.
I'm glad you're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to having you again. It's great to hear that it's really benefited you in the past. Very good. Any other overall suggestions for the suppliers in terms of meetings, preparation?
No, well, I guess the only thing I could do is, like, if you guys find a charity to donate all the leftovers to, that'd be awesome. Instead of people just taking it or being thrown out.
Yes, we do that.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. On my farm, if we have leftover, if we have extra crops and stuff, we take them to people. So we're all about helping people.
Yes, that's very nice.
And that's really all I have. I mean, like I said, you guys have been going it's been years now. And I think you guys have really, really come a long way. It's a really great program. I'm really excited about it. So.
Oh, thank you.
Thank God I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, that would be a little dangerous in Vegas.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're going to open up the floor for a Q&A. You can unmute your phones or you can type a question in the chat.
I don't
Hi,
have
Nick.
the chat.
She'll read the
go ahead.
questions in the chat. Hi, Nick. This is Corbin. I have a question.
Hey, Corbin.
Hi, how are you? Is
Good.
there anything that you would recommend that suppliers should avoid doing in the meeting, whether it be relying on a long PowerPoint presentation or wasting too much time talking about themselves or anything like that?
I could probably take that advice myself, but no, I mean, 99.9% of the people really know what they're there for, and I guess too much information is too much in that short amount of time. I mean, like I said, it's a lot to process, and so I would say just have like a very kind of a succinct kind of a not necessarily even a PowerPoint, but just like a bullet point kind of thing of what you're about, what you do. Mm-hmm. Logistics of supplying is, like I said, I can't reiterate that enough. You have to know that up front. If you can't ship to me, then I don't know what I'm doing talking to you. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's really hard when I have to try to find a supplier for things. If you know your supply chain or direct purchasing is great for me too. That type of information is important. And like I said, do your homework in advance. If you know what I'm about, you probably know I'm not going to buy like pallets of MSG or something like that.
I have another question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, so I know you want tasting samples when you're there, but if someone tries to give you samples to take away with or presentations or anything like that, how do you feel about that? Do you want them to hold off because you have to carry it back with you?
Well, it depends what it is. If it's fryer oil, I'm not going to take a 5-liter thing, but I think a lot of the vendors at the last one that I went to had like small, I mean, I can take some stuff for sure. It's great. And that's even better because I lay it out on my dining room table here when I get home, and I go to the trouble of separating all the flyers and stuff that I get, and I try to kind of match them up. Then I pack all that up and I share it with my team back at my restaurants, and then we decide from there kind of as a unit what we do. So it is nice. And then some people were giving out thumb drives with their presentations on them. I thought that was awesome too.
Very good. We have another question.
One was a bottle opener, which was great.
Very useful. All right, we got another question here. So for a unique product, are you willing to purchase direct from the manufacturer versus a distributor?
I prefer purchasing direct than through a manufacturer because I give the money directly to the people that are selling it and not some middleman. So I'm all about it.
Very good. Any other questions? All right. We will move on then. Let's see. Just wanted to provide some helpful hints and reminders at the food service program next month, or this month rather. So we'll have 3 programs going on in Vegas that week. We have our campus food service, our commercial food service, and food service at retail, all taking place the week of March 15th to the 19th. Remember to check out the color-coordinated badges to identify who is who. So the buyers will have the red lanyards and the sellers will have the blue lanyards. Be sure to look at the full agenda, things going on outside of your one-on-one meetings. We do have some great networking and educational opportunities taking place that week. Your client success manager will email you this week. It can also be found on the ECRM website and your preparation page. Also, be sure to utilize your ECRM Connect app. We will give you an iPad to use on site. We will also demo the application. You're able to take notes, review your most updated meeting schedule, and all of the notes that you take will be uploaded to our ECRM follow-up site after the program. Okay. And
Well, thank you, Nick, for taking your time today.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it.
If anyone thinks of any other questions, you can email your client success manager, and we can get the questions directed over to Nick, or we can help you out with those.
More than happy to do that for you guys anytime.
Thank you, Nick.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
everyone, for joining.